Okay, here's a quick HARP update for April 14th. It's 4 p.m. Central. And even though they put a HARP downburst on this low pressure last night, it's still holding together enough that once it gets into British Columbia, it's going to drop some rain. So they have gone ahead and started to chemtrail in Alberta right here. And let me show you that. Whoops. So many windows open. Should be able to see some chemtrailing if I can get one more map here. No, it's this one. Okay, sorry about that. Right here, it's kind of tough to see, but because it's such close to the horizon and all, but you can see, and sorry about the scratches on the monitor there. Let me just put it down here. Maybe we can zoom in a little. But you can see them putting it's sort of a H shape. It's really terrible contrast, but this underlines what I've been saying all along, that as a rain front is moving in, if they chemtrail ahead of it, which is right here, these crosshatches, if they chemtrail ahead of it, then they can prevent any rain. And that's what they're doing. This is actually the only chemtrailing that I see in continental North America right now, which is very strange, except that the weather in North America is totally overpowered by this extreme this cold front is just, the jet stream is dragging air, not from the Yukon, but from the Arctic Circle all the way down into central Texas. And this is what they did exactly 1 year ago that killed all the trees down here and the vines and everything, just critical, food type growing plants, because we had last year we had, I don't know, like 4 days it was 90 degrees every day. The trees were budding out, everything was growing. Then we had the next night it was 19 degrees, the next night it was 16 degrees, and everything died. Everything died. And this is one of the reasons that I personally want to go after these people, because of what they've done to my efforts. So I'm just really hacked off about it. It's almost, I should have written down the date last year, but this is an exact repeat of what they did last year. And how do they do it? They, let me just show you. Again, it's the Gakona HARP. They create a high pressure here, and that wraps this super warm Asian air up through Canada, up through Alaska, and it plunges southward. In fact, if I can find this map, let me show you the temperature in Alaska. It is absolutely balmy. In fact, that is a couple hours old. Let me refresh it. Okay, the green area is above freezing. Look at this. It's like 80% of the state is above freezing. So, that's horrifying. This permafrost, once it starts melting, will release incredible amounts of carbon dioxide and methane. And I mean, the sun's not even barely over the horizon up there, and everything's melting. That was the main things that I wanted to point out. There is a very strange feature here in Nebraska, and personally I think that's just the cold front, but it's just a very odd looking thing the way it blooms. But as I've said before, HARP is overpowered by Mother Nature, and chemtrails are not effective when Mother Nature has too much energy. These are tools to be used sort of like the butterfly effect. The supercomputer has to plan several days in advance. So, with that in mind, they know this low is going to roll down through the U.S. So they're chemtrailing in Alberta to kill it, since they weren't able to kill it before it went inland. But so basically, it's a quiet situation. Oh, let me show you the rain total for yesterday. This is really interesting. They fought so hard to keep the rain out of Texas, and the day after you can look at their efforts and see how well they did. Okay, so this is the rainfall totals for yesterday, and top priority is keeping the rain out of California, which they did. And here's our little hidden sector where there's something under there they don't want us to know about. And you can see how the HAARP has cored out. Here's a core out. The downburst creates that rain area that's got the middle missing. Here's a core out. Down here, core out, and then who knows what happened under there. In Texas, now here's just a beautiful example. Look at that core out there. That C shape, that's a core out, where the HAARP downburst has the dry air has stopped the center of the storm. And the Panhandle, that's less than 1/4 of an inch. That's no rain, and there was no rain. And they succeeded pretty much in keeping it. All this down here that would have just rained all day, they shut it down quick. And I just have to say, this from Dallas east, the HAARPs cannot reach. And look at the rain that happened. But from Dallas west, the HAARPs control it. And we see this day after day, week after week, month after month, for 3 years. Okay, and here's the current rain with a little snow. Let me refresh that. Well, I know that they're harping down here, so we'll see this act very funky very weird down here. And actually we do. It's kind of not really stable. And then here's this weird thing in Nebraska that acted like it was some kind of HAARP downburst. But I wasn't really going to commit to that, because there's so much energy in this cold front right now. But that's likely to be, I don't know. I don't know what the Gakona HAARP is doing right now. Without clouds you can't really see the ELF patterns. Now what would be nice is if in every city in the US everybody had the little coil of wire with the oscilloscope, and you look for that certain pulse. There's 18 megahertz ringing, and then the big pulse. You can see my other video on how to tell when the HAARP is actually running over your head. Because then people could log in and say, oh, we're getting it in Lincoln, Nebraska, just right now. And then we'd know, oh, that's a HAARP downburst right there. So, anyway, lots of research to do. But these people have got to be stopped. And I'm just so pissed that they've dragged this Arctic air clear back down to the south central U.S. again. It's like I need to look up the anniversary date, because they may be doing it on the exact same anniversary, just as a gesture. Look how powerful we are, and you idiots don't even notice it. Well, I notice it. Somebody's going to pay for this. Okay, thanks.